using the humblest and simplest of tools, combining textures and colors, fabrics and fiber. We tell the stories of our lives one stitch at a time. Welcome to Antique Needleworkers. Well, hello and welcome to Antique Needleworkers. My name is Shellie and this is my channel about cross stitch and all my crafty endeavors, and I'm so glad you've joined me here today. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope while you're here that you find something that inspires you in your making. And if you're a return subscriber, I thank you for coming time and time again. Well, hello my friends. I'm so glad to be back. First things first, I was sick last week, just severe allergies, but I got severe laryngitis. And so I have only been able to really talk for the last 2 days, hence the gap in filming. I'm so sorry. But for somebody who loves to talk so much, let me tell you something, not been very good. So I am prepared with a big cup of water. I am prepared with chapstick. Who would believe that I'd have to walk around with chapstick? But yes, I do, because I'm so dry. And anyway, I'm fine. But so anyhow, I've got so much to show you, and I just couldn't wait any longer. I have 2 new pattern releases, and I have lots of finishes of all kinds, and I even die as I look around the table. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got so much stuff here. Where do I come up with all these things? Well, I did go out of town. I took my trunk show to Tennessee, and so of course while I was there, I did some shopping. I'm getting ready to go back to Tennessee and get my trunk show. But so I have so much to show you, and so how about we get started? Well, the first thing I'd like to do is I would like to say hello to a few people. There are 2 special young ladies that I talk and speak to occasionally. They are just little angels on the earth. Their names are Rachel Henry and Emily Egner. And I want to say hello, sweet baby girls. I thank you for watching, and I think about you often. They're young ladies, and their mamas are heroes, and so I love to remember to say hello to them as well. I got the sweetest email from a viewer named Sally, who is 72 years old and has been stitching for a very, very long time. And she sent me the most beautiful email and shared about her life, and even sent some stitching. And she was just such an encouragement to me. And so I wanted to say thank you so much for that email, and thank you for sharing about yourself. I love learning about you all. When I say hello, my friends, I really do mean it. You're all my friends. We may be distant, and we may never lay our eyes on each other in person, but you are part of my stitchy family, and I love it when you share with me as you love it when I share with you, and so thank you. I do want to say one more thing before I get going, and that is I want to share about someone else. I feel like it's so important to straighten crowns or to place crowns on people's heads and to, again, encourage one another. And there's another Flosstuber, and she and her friend began a Flosstube about a year ago. Her name is Christy Hines, and she Flosstubes with her friend Susie, and they have a channel called The World's Happiest Stitches, and they are infectious. The two of them remind me very much of Linen and Scraps, of Molly, and that dynamic from their channel, and they're bubbly and they're so sweet, and I wanted to say hello to Christy, and I want to introduce you to her and her friend Susie. But there's a little more reason that I want to speak about them today. First of all, they have about 16 videos. I'll link their channel below in the Flosstubers mentioned. But I wanted to bring it to your attention because Christy has begun to design. And I want to extend to her the kindnesses that were extended to me. And I want to publicly welcome you, Christy, to the design community. You are welcome, and I'm so excited that there's another sister designer out there. What Christy is doing is she is working with Stacy from Buttermilk Basin, and she is, what she's doing is taking their patterns and she is turning them into cross stitch. So now, oh, I love Buttermilk Basin, and it's just so neat. And so she is converting those patterns and designing them into cross stitch patterns, and she is going to debut the day after Thanksgiving. And so you, my friends in the cross stitch community, I want you to send a resounding congratulations to Christy. I want you to send her a resounding welcome, and I want us all to pull up a chair at our table and say, hello, Christy, we're so glad you're here. And so do go over and check their channel out, The World's Happiest Stitches. Do go and look up Christy on all the socials, and be prepared. I haven't seen her designs, but I know what Buttermilk Basin, I have tons of Buttermilk Basin upstairs in wool applique and such, and their books for quilting and wool applique. So I can only imagine that they're just she's going to knock it out of the park. And there's a genre for everyone. And I know that you're probably, I'm infectiously excited to see what she brings to us. So let's just welcome her. Go check her out, congratulate her, and do look forward to her debut at the day after Thanksgiving. So I just wanted to do that really quick. Okay, let's catch up. I've already tried out. One moment. I'm sorry if I have to do that repeatedly throughout this video, but I just couldn't wait any longer. I need to get my releases out, and I need to show you these things because they're so piled up. And plus, I miss y'all. I miss y'all when I'm not here. Okay, so I left town, and my mother and I went to Tennessee. We went to Greenville, and we took my trunk show to Stacy at Thread the Needle Stitchery. She is just a doll. If you are ever near Greenville, do stop in her shop. They are so welcoming there and just so kind. And they were having a retreat, Stitching in the Smokies retreat, and I was asked if I would provide my trunk show. And so instead of mailing it, you all know I love the mountains. So I said to my mom, road trip, we're going to take it down. And then I took my mother over to Gatlinburg, and I spent several days there with her and had just really tried to spoil her and spend some time with her. You will have seen in the roll-in pictures. And if you noticed, there was a woman who I was head-to-head with, and there was some stitching. I taught my mother to stitch. My mother's been a horsewoman my whole life. She's not been a crafter, And so she's taken up the needle at the age of 80, and it was so fun. And when I was at the shop with Stacy, and they had a meet and greet for me, people came from North Carolina. It was so neat. They were so kind. And when I would get up to go speak to another person, those ladies would just envelop. They would buzz around my mom, and they would help her and answer questions for her. And she'd say, well, it only took me 2 hours to do 20 stitches. And they were like, oh, no. And they just, it was exactly what a new stitcher needed. So that was really the highlight for me. Was I'm not the only cross stitcher in the family now, or the only quilter, because I also taught her to hand quilt while we were on our trip. So that was a wonderful time. And then we spent time in the mountains, and I took her to all my favorite places. I stuffed her like a little pig, and myself, because I planned everything about what we did by where we were going to eat, because it was my favorite. And so we did that, and we went antiquing, and it was just a joy. And so then when I returned home, my husband's big race, his 24-hour race where people from all over the world came, the greatest of the greatest slot car racers were in our garage. They began arriving last Wednesday, it would have been 2 Wednesdays ago. They started arriving. They stayed at hotels. Some of them had RVs out here, and the cooking began, and I was the hostess, and Jerry was the host, and he was a racer. So they started arriving Wednesday, and Thursday was practice, Friday was qualifying, and then the 24 hours began, and then they raced for 24 straight hours. There were teams of them, and you will, if you go to my social media, you'll see pictures of all these things. And so I cooked for a garage full of gentlemen all week. And so I between my trip and that, and working and preparing my new releases, I miss bubbly, but you're gonna hear me say something, for I'm wore out. I have worn myself to a frazzle. I think that's how I got a little sick, because there's never enough hours in the days to complete all the things that I'll attempt to do. But anywho, so that's what I've been up to, and that's what I was doing since I saw you. I also produced a video, a little short for you let's see. I did a short for you and gave you a tip for, that was last week, for stitching on a frame, how to get to the places that you couldn't reach. And I also did a tutorial for my box, but I've seen you. But anyway, so those are all the things I've been doing. So anyhow, how about I show you my new releases? I'm so excited. I'm ready for Christmas. My tree's not up. I'm ready for Christmas with designs. And so I have 2 brand new designs for you for Christmas. And the first one is my winter biscornu, which will complete my my seasonal biscornu series. And this is my beautiful biscornu. Isn't she pretty? I did it Christmas sampler style. So I did what represents poinsettias and snowflakes and evergreen trees. And I think it just turned out beautiful. And Jersey Girl, oh my, does she hit it out of the park. Look at those beautiful pins that she has made. This was stitched on 36 count heirloom by Needleworkers Designs. I used Cayenne from Weeks Dye Works, Juniper from Weeks Dye Works, and I used heirloom gold for it from Gentle Arts. And this is the pattern. And you can get this now on my website. I have not only the patterns available, I have the pins, the fabric, the thread, everything you need. there'll be options right where the pattern is for you to choose from, or you can go to your local needle workshop and you can get it there. If they don't have it yet, just request it. And so I'm really, really excited about it. It's been really fun. Now, like I said, I'm getting ready to go back down to Tennessee to get my trunk show. So the next time I film, I'm going to show you all 4 seasons of them. So you'll see the completed collection the next time I film. But this is the newest, and this will be the last in that Biscornu series. So that is Winter Biscornu. And then I'm really excited about this. This was so much fun to do. I did a spool finish. This is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And this is what she looks like. Isn't this just adorable? If I do say myself, sometimes I get a little embarrassed to say that because I'm the designer, but I create what I love. And so I put little crows with the little holly berries in their mouth, and what I represented as a Quaker poinsettia. And I finished it with this sweet fabric on the back. It's something I got from Primrose Cottage it was in a set. They had a bundle. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to provide the name of this fabric, but you can just put whatever you want on the back if you put fabric on the back at all, or if you finish it as a roll. So this is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I did this on 36 count vintage country mocha. I used all 3 weeks dye works thread. I used juniper, I used molasses, and cayenne. And I just said that 36 count vintage country mocha. Now, you can get the pattern, like I said, on my website. You can get the fabric, you can get the thread, and guess what? This spool is an antique vintage spool, but guess what? I found 40 of them. So there will be at least 39 of them on the website. So if you want to finish yours, if you Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, like mine, with the exact spool, I was able to find that. Now, of course, I could have bought a new spool, but I'm antique. My name's even Antique. So I found someone who had a bundle of them, and I bought them all. So those will be available as well. I do want to tell you, I don't know if you know this, if you haven't bought the Biscornus. If you've never done a Biscornu and finished one before, that's okay. The directions on how to finish it are in the pattern. I didn't leave you high and dry. As well, if you've never done a spool finish like this, no worries. I did the directions for you. They are available right inside your pattern. That's the written directions, step by step. It's very straightforward, very simple. The only thing that you'll need your thread and fabric. You'll need a spool if you want to do it this way, 3 pieces of ribbon, and a piece of fabric, and that's it. And it's pretty straightforward. So I hope you like what I have brought you for Christmas, and I really enjoyed it. Isn't it just adorable? I love them both. I enjoyed designing these so much, and I hope that you like them too. So as a designer, this is my first spool finish that I've done for you. So there you go. And so when Christmas is over, you can sit this near your stitchy space. Nobody will really ever know that it's Christmas. Or you could hang it on a dowel and leave it hanging and just be happy-go-lucky and not care what. So that, so it's a decor piece all year round. So those are my new releases. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start to show you my my stitching. I have a whole lot to show you, and I'm really excited about a few of them. Okay, and I have finished I've got all kind of finishes. And so, all right, so I'm going to show you this Spring Green Pears by Annie B's. I stitched mine on 36 count agave Zweigart linen, and I used oatmeal in oatmeal scone, which is a Belle Soie silk. And if you didn't see it on social media, isn't she pretty? Can you hear Stevie Wonder singing, "Isn't she lovely"? I can. I absolutely love her. And I told you in the past when I showed you that I was working on it, that I'm going to do, my children's birthstones are in the gemstones, emerald, ruby, and sapphire. And so I am doing one from each of her green, red, and blue. So each one will represent one of my children, and I'm doing them in order. My oldest son, Michael, he is an emerald birthstone. And so I finished this one first, and I'm going to do the red one next. Now, the fabric I used on the back of mine is Blackbird, and I'm not so sure that you can get it maybe on the secondary market, but I absolutely love it. And this is a Jersey Girl Stitch Co. pin, and it was just some that I had purchased and worked perfectly. Now, I showed this on social media, and when I did, I had quite a few people reach out to me and say, "Shellie, I've stitched that, but you know it's sitting in the basket," because I do not know how to finish it. And even though there's directions in there, sometimes if you're not someone who's done a lot of sewing, it could be a little bit of a challenge just because of putting the three pieces together. So I promised them, and I'm going to tell you now, pardon me. I'm sorry for that happening. Anyway, when I get the red pear done, I am going to film a tutorial on how to put an Annie B's pear together. I'm going to just straightforward do it exactly how the directions show. I did do like one or two things that were just the way I do things. But so anyhow, this is my Annie B's pear, fully finished. Isn't she lovely? I'm just going to sit her right here. That's her new home. Okay, so that was one project. And then, where's the bag for you? I'm going to try to go with what I have right here. Okay. I worked as well on Harriet Elizabeth Co. And this is from Brenda Gervais. I used all the called for colors. I used the called for fabric, but I'm doing mine in 32 instead of 30, and it's Old Town Blend by R&R. And I'm stitching mine 2/2, which I normally don't do, but I went ahead and did that. I've still got it in the Q-snap. I've got it down to where I can. What I did was, let me just pull the top bar off my Q-snap for you. Okay, so what I did was this last row of eyelet, their eyelet alphabet, I put it in the border, and I brought the side borders down. And now I've gotten to the part where I can start working on the motifs, and I'm really excited about that. And so that is Harriet Elizabeth Co. And she is by Brenda Gervais, using all the called for thread and fabrics, except for mine's on 32 count, stitching it 2/2. And so I got really excited and to work on her because I had a really nice big finish, and I put her in place of the one that was kind of a focus piece prior to. So I worked on her. I'm going to try to tidy as I go here and put these back. I just love my Q-snaps and my scroll rods. I had told you about the sweet lady named Angelina. Her shop on Etsy is Ode to Artistry, O-D-E to Artistry. I don't know if she's got any yet, but I will tell you this. she's working to put these in her Etsy shop. I had her quite busy. I had her make me 12 in different sizes, and she got those to me, and they're just lovely. And I had talked to you on a different video about that, but these are made to hold scroll rods, Q-snaps, and things like that. And I love it because I just stuck my project bag in there. Everything is in here, and my piece is staying clean, so that's really exciting. So I should share that with you while I was doing that. Another piece, I ripped this right out of my W stand to bring it over here to film today. This next piece that I'm working on is by Leela Studio, and it's the Lord's Prayer. And I'm using all the called for. This called for this 40 count affogato, and I'm using all the called for threads. I'm stitching. Did I hold that up long enough? I am so sorry. Let me give you a good view. Leela Studio, the Lord's Prayer, all the called for fabric and threads. And I am stitching it one thread over two linen threads, and it's still in the hoop. It was on my W stand, and I was like, oh, I almost forgot that, so I just pulled it off the stand. I did from the here down, and then I filled the flowers in up here in the one right here. I didn't get a whole ton of work, but I'm going to show you everything my needle touched. So I did get that done, and so I worked on that. And let's see, I'm being tidy because I have so much to clean up. I don't need a bigger mess than I've already got. Okay, let me pull this up real quick. I have so much sitting around me, it's embarrassing almost. Okay, for my birthday, I had showed you that I was going to start for my my birthday, my 57th birthday, Bless Our Home by La Di Da. And I am stitching this with all the called for threads on 36 count vintage country mocha. And I'm stitching one thread over two linen threads, and I got a nice start on the corner of the border. So it's a really pretty piece, really pretty colors. I love that green, and it's a DMC green. And you know, when I'm stitching things and colors come up, I think, oh my goodness, that when I'm designing, one of the colors that I tend to gravitate to studying is green, because just to get that right green in the right spot for the right flower or tree or something sometimes is hard. And I took note of this green because it really is really nice. As a matter of fact, let me tell you what it is. This is DMC 3781, I believe. Let me pull that up. Let me double check real quick. Or is that 830? Oh, hold just one second. Let me look at the chart. Let me see what that green symbol is. Okay, I lied. It's DMC 830. That's a really good DMC. I mean, this could be a gold or this could be a green, but the way it's laid in, it picks up green. And so anyway, Lori did a great job in her charting and creating of this pattern. I love that color. Super pretty. You're going to see that in something of mine in the future, because I put that down on my list of favorite greens because I love the way it conveys. So I worked on that. And then I worked on I have to pull it out because I can't remember how to say her name. I remember her name. Her name is Ellen Mauer-Stroh, and this is the Rose Sampler. Now, this was a free pattern on her website, and it was Project 2008. And this is just a screenshot that I took of, because it didn't have a cover photo. It was a free one. And so you've seen me working on it before, and I completed page number 1. Isn't that beautiful up there? It's just, oh, I love this. And I'm stitching this on 37 count Access Commodities Legacy Linens. Oh, here's my card. Thank goodness. I'm using Legacy Linen Russian Tea Cake 37 count, and I'm using DMC 3862 on that because I you know, blue's my favorite color, and that in this pattern was done in blue, but I was inspired by Half Bone Creek Christie, and look at that. That's how hers is. It's so pretty, and so I wanted to do it in the cream and the taupe. I think it's going to be a beautiful piece. So I got page number 1 done of that. Also, I worked on Rocking Horse Holiday by Artful Offerings. I really want to try to get this done by Christmas. Listen, if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. But I would love to focus on this a bit because I've had this going for about I don't know. Do I have a card in here? Let me see. I think I've been working on this maybe 2 years. I don't have a card. I am using 36 count ale in all the called for colors, and I do have a lot done. It's not ironed, I apologize. It's probably got a thread hanging on it too. What I added was the wreath on the bottom, and I started on the second tree right here. And I did do 2 of the alphabet below that bottom border. And there will be another border just like that border beneath those letters. So I think I got a good piece of it done. I got the first 2 parts of the greenery done on the tree, and I got that whole swag done. So I worked on that. And then, let me put this picture in. I did not put this away properly. And then, you know, I had showed you that my freebie on my website that is called Friend. And I had done that and given it as a gift to Carrie. And I've never been able to show you the model because I didn't have it with me. And so I had finished a second for, I stitched it a second time for myself, and I fully finished it. Now here is it. This is the exact way that I did it for Carrie, except for I did not put this piece of lace on hers. The one thing I did do again that's just very slightly off is hers is 1 shade lighter, but I'm crusty. And she's bright, so she got the bright one. It's the exact same color. And so this is on my website under my free patterns. This is Friend that I made, and it is now fully finished. And I just got this box at Hobby Lobby, real simple. I think I have another one in the house, so I will put a link for where you can get the box if you want to finish it the way that I did. So I fully finished that, and then I was so excited. I'm so excited to show you this because this has been a comfort stitch for a very long time, and now she's done. Miss Jane Parsons by the Wishing Thorn. You have seen me working on her, and I have loved every second of it. And I finished Jane since I put tons of time into it. I am doing it on a 28 count fabric. It was a Zweigart clay that was provided in the kit because I did mine with the Swad Yabberson wools that she had charted it with. And I'm sorry that this is not ironed, but Jane is now done. One of the things I did differently was here in this cartouche right here. I put my initials in 2025, and I had a little mistake right here, but being like I followed Jean Lee's theory. There's probably 2 extra leaves on there because I wanted it to fill in right, but it was 1 stitch off and my count was off. So you would have never known that, but I fixed that. But oh, isn't she pretty? Just a lovely, wonderful, wonderful piece. So she'll be off to the framer. I loved her. You know, do you miss patterns that are comforting to you? I missed her when I was done, and this is what Harriet Elizabeth Coe is taking the place of as my comfort stitch, because you know I'll stitch on anything, but boy, when you stitch on 32 count, I mean seriously, it's just it's easy on the eyes, and it's just, you know, a joy. But also I love Harriet. She's beautiful. I love eyelets, and just stitching her, I enjoyed it so much. So yeah, Jane's done. So I love them. I have one more finish, and I'm excited to show you this because I told you I wanted this done for Christmas. Not only is it done for Christmas, I've been using it. I got my Christmas blanket done. Look at the edging on it. Now, I did not follow a pattern. What I did was a simple granny square. There's 10 million tutorials that'll show you how to do this. It's red in the middle. It's green for the leaves, and then 3 rounds of cream. The one thing I did do was I had told you that I use this joining technique, and I will put a link to it below. It is a written tutorial. It's not a video, but it looks kind of lacy. And when I got done, I wanted to put one more round of the way you did it. You chain 3 and then you single crocheted into every other stitch. So when I went around again, what I did was I chained 3 and I slip stitched into the top of the little mountain, and I made it a little lacier to go around the edge. It just finished it off a little more. So I'm all done with it. And I gotta tell you a funny story. I had to babysit my grandson Davey. He's the middle grand boy, and he came over, and I'm a domino fanatic. I've taught them to play dominoes. It's my favorite game. It's so simple, and anybody can play it, and you can take it everywhere. So I said to him, "Hey Davey, you want to play dominoes?" "No, Mimi." I said, "Okay." "You want to play with Legos?" "No, Mimi." "Do you want to play with Lincoln Logs?" "No, Mimi." "Do you want to make Christmas ornaments?" "No, I want to sit here on the couch." And I said, okay. He wanted to play his little video game. It was his allotted time to where he could play his video games, and whether he was here or not, he wanted his time. And so I said, okay. I said, "Hey, I've got a new couch blanket. Do you want to see it? I made it." And I pulled it out and held it up. And I said, "What do you think?" And he goes, "Mimi, that's sick." That's the current word in vogue with young kids for, that's awesome, that's cool. In the 70s, we'd say, "Oh, that's tough," you know. But anyway, I looked at him and I said, "Okay, let me clarify with you. So when you say it's sick, does that mean it's good?" And he goes, "Oh, Mimi, it's sick." So I thought, oh, that's so funny. It just, anyway, children, I just thought it was cute. So I thought I'd share that with you. So I got the grandchild's seal of approval. Okay, now we can move on to the haul that I've got. I've got lots of stuff around me. I signed up for the Jingle Ball, and I am taking both of Stacy Nash's classes. I wasn't able to get the kit for the little cracker. I think her name is Ginger, the little mouse, but I did get the exact fabric, so I'm going to get started on this pre-jingle balling. but I just got the fabric, so I'm going to pull the threads and get going. So I have my PDF, but I didn't leave it. I opened it, and then I put it back together because I wanted you to see how Stacy, well, see, it's not exact. Stacy sent the kit like this. Is that not cute? I know her daughter Taylor does all of the wax things. Just a paper ornament with that wax. Is that not a cute idea? I've been doing ornaments with my grandkids using the air-dried clay, and I had them come over and we did beautiful ornaments that just really look fantastic. I was so inspired off of lots of Instagram posts. So we've got a lot, but we're doing secret Christmas presents for their mamas too that blew my mind, that include clay and Mod Podge and napkins. Really pretty, really, really pretty. Anyway, I digress. So this is the other kit that I got, and it is for, I love it, the Gingerbread Man Sewing Kit. So this is going to get started too. So I was able to get in on this kit. So I am taking the Stacy Nash classes. Jingle Ball. Are you going to meet me at the Jingle Ball? Are we going to Jingle Ball in a room together? That way maybe I could talk to a friend, see a friend. So anyway, I got that. Okay, and then what else am I going to show you? I'm overwhelmed with how much stuff I have around me. I want to kind of go in order. How about I show you the things that I got when I was at Thread the Needle Stitchery? They have items. They have knitting and crochet there as well, and so Forbidden Fiber Co. keeps a stash there, and so I got these. This is one for me and one for Carrie, and so I'll do a pair of socks. I'm not sure what Carrie will do with hers, but I got it in pink because that's her favorite color, and so she always buys me my favorite color, so I just figured I'd do the favor. So I got this, and this color is Fortitude. Stacy has more of this, so if you like Forbidden Fiber Co.'s yarn, you can call Stacy for that at Thread the Needle Stitchery. My biggest sock fan is my mother and my daughter-in-law. My mother was with me, and she said, hey, don't leave me out, cut me. Know what she said? She said, cut me in, don't leave me out. And so I got this. She picked it out. I'm going to knit a pair of socks for her. So in her color is, Fortitude is not the name of the color, because this one says Fortitude too. I think Fortitude must be what they call their fingering weight. Well, I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure what they're called, but maybe that's the base's name. So it's blue. Okay, and while I was there, I wanted to make a meaningful purchase because you know what? By the time I'm done showing you all this stuff, and I'm sure you think this a lot too, geez, I come home with lots of things. And so as I travel and go to shops and stuff like that, instead of just willy-nilly buying everything and its brother, I've been trying to be judicious about what I chose. And one of the things that Stacy had there, which I was so excited to see, was the Tennessee Samplers Female Education and Domestic Arts 1800 through 1900. There is a phenomenal video on YouTube. Just put this name in. I'll hold it there for a minute. And it has the author on there doing basically a thesis on this book and all of the things about Tennessee samplers. I love it. I've got books on Ohio samplers, Rhode Island samplers. I can't study them enough. I love to learn, and I want you to look at that. I mean, it's a bow-hunkin' book, and it has just so much information, and I was so excited to get this as well while I was there. This is by this sampler happens to be in the book, and it's a Tennessee sampler, and I thought that's what I'm gonna buy. I'm did buy that Tennessee sampler, and this is what it is. It's Margaret Elizabeth Kilpatrick, 1854, and it was reproduced by Tennessee Sampler Survey. And it is really pretty. Now look at that. The colors looked nothing like it. When I kidded the whole thing up while I was there, and Stacy came in and I was throwing thread on the floor, and she said, "I've got a DMC card." And I said, "No, I'm kidding this." But what I did was, as I said, I pulled all the DMCs because it was charted in DMC. I said, "But I'm converting. I've got to tone that thing down." I mean, it was a screaming demon. It was so loud. And now let me show you the cover again. And when I show you the color, and you see that I've muted it down a little bit, it's the same color family. It's just not so bright. This doesn't look bright, does it? No. Let me show you. Well, I picked Fiber on a Whim Affogato for this to stitch it on because it looked like the fabric from the cover. Okay, those threads didn't though. Okay, so these are the thread colors. I was like, where in the world did that orange come from? It was screaming orange. It was really buttery yellow, I mean bright yellow. This color is probably close to what it was. It had a pink. The green was really limey too. So anyway, and the purple was really purple. And so I needed to bring it down a notch. It needed to antiquify it because it was just so dark. That doesn't look like those colors are in that sampler, does it? No, it doesn't. But that's okay. The little girl stitched it that way, and I can't wait to stitch on it and see how it goes. Now, let me tell you what I converted. And I will tell you the DMC numbers because that's what's on the pattern, and I'll tell you what I converted it to. It called for DMC 156, and I switched that out for Classic Colorworks Hydrangea. It called for 986 DMC, and I used Weeks Dye Works Hunter. It called for 726 Summer Meadow. Or no, I converted it to Summer Meadow. Let me turn these around so I can see them. Okay, Summer Meadow is the yellow. So this is what I converted 726 to mute it down a little bit. Summer Meadow by Gentle Arts. And then 3722, I converted it to Old Red Paint from Gentle Arts. And let me see, where is that at? It called for 3341, and I converted it to Melon Patch by Gentle Arts. It called for 605, and I got Gentle Arts Sweet Petunia. It called for Ecru, and I got Classic Colorworks Bella Rosa. It called for 931, and I got Dungarees by the Gentle Arts. And then it called for 3348, and I got Green Apple. Okay, so that was my conversion. And so that made this really a piece that when I'm done with this will be meaningful to my trip. So did you see how I did that? Wasn't that great? Okay, what else did I have? I ordered a ton of fabric from Kitten Stitcher. I did this because when I'm designing, I really like to support another designer, and also she and her sons dye linen. This is 36 count Heirloom Tomato. Perfect name. This is Button Mushroom, 36 count. They're all on Zweigart basis. This is Pale Pumpkin, and this is really pretty. It's not conveying the weight. It's the softest tannish orange. This is 36 Spot of Tea. And then this is 36 count weathered basket. This is 36 count pumpkin pie. 36 count saddle. 36 count cool water. And 36 count shrieking violet. Shrieking. I think it's shrieking or shrinking, one of the two. Shrinking violet. So I've got some colors to use for designing. Okay, in the mail, I received my Just Cross Stitch Christmas Ornament edition and my punch needle and primitive stitcher. And then I had ordered this book months ago, and I've been so excited to get it. There's a woman I follow who's a spinner, and she's from the Netherlands, I believe, or Switzerland, one of the two. But her name is Josephine Walton, and it's called Listen to the Wool, a Y2 guide for joyful spinning. And I've just followed her so long and just love what she presents, and I wanted to get the book because I'm a spinner, remember? Okay, so I got those things. My friend Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe had a de-stash. Hi back, friend. She says, thank you, friend. She knew she was going to loan me a pattern, and somebody asked her if she could sell this for them. I'm sorry about that. I had a guest walk in. Two of my children walked in, and so yeah, I forgot to put my I'm filming sign up. Back to what I was saying, Stephanie from Cross Stitch in the Globe, she had said she'd loan me this pattern, but somebody asked her if she would help sell this for her, and it is, I'm not a big Mirabilia girl, but I've always wanted to do the Lady of the Flag. And so staff sent me a message and said, hey, before I offer this to anybody else, I know that you were going to borrow mine, but what you wanted, it's a full kit. It's got all the threads. It has all the beads and the cry neck, and it also has the Constitution cloth. And so there's a few stitches in the middle, but yay for me. There's something about her, but I don't need to explain that to you, everybody. There's such an affinity for this piece, and it's just so beautiful. And I want to frame her, but then I want to put her not in a bright gold frame. Everybody usually does their mirrors and really pretty frames like that. I want to put mine in a rustic frame, like a mill type frame. And I am not 100% sure if I'm going to do, I may do all the beads. Maybe I won't do all the beads. I don't know, because I want her to, look like old. And I probably might shock a few people, but I may even mist her with some walnut spray, so when she's all stitched, that it gives her that old look. What do you think about that? I think that's cool. So anyway, thanks, Steph. I appreciate it. I was driving a car when I got the message, and I was like, oh, when I stop next, I need to make sure that I answer, because she sent me a message. And so anyway, yeah, thanks, Stephanie. I got a few things from Ovely Folk Embroidery. This is how it comes. They're very nicely appointed. Now, I've showed you some things before that I've got from her. I absolutely, there is a channel on YouTube for Ovely, and she is amazing. She is amazing. It's all folk embroidery, lots of table linens and things like that. Just really beautiful, beautiful work. And so I got a couple of her kits. I love what she has all kind of lessons on her on her YouTube. She just went to her first retreat. She was up in the Pacific Northwest Stitchers Retreat. And I think she's doing something with Gary Parr on Fiber Talk. And so really go over and catch Ovly on, that's not her name, that's the name of her company. This is an embroidery piece, and I want to show you, it comes with a good, very nice hoop. It's a nice hoop. I mean, it's like an urge or something. It's super, super nice wood. And just beautiful, beautiful piece. And then I got this. It's another table piece. And it came with the hoop and everything. So just beautiful pieces. I did get into my stash, and I pulled out the other pieces that I got from her so that I could show you. And these are full kits as well. I got this table runner. It's like a table square. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. In this fabric, she gets it from Greece. And it's like what would have been. And it's really super, super nice linen. And you get everything, including your needle. But this was this piece and this other piece are, I got these at a previous time. And did I just show you that I got this? No. This looks like it. I got this one as well. So pretty. Table linens. And just, you could just take the motifs and stitch them. Like if you just took this motif and stitched it, or stitched like 2 runs of it, and that, you could make a little drum. Just beautiful, but she can just speak off out of the thin air all the different information about the time frame and the embroidery and all those things. It was just, I just love her channel. So go check that Ovly embroidery out. I am part of the Willow Tree Sampler Guild, and Ray Niles is going to be doing a class. And I got my kit. It's all kitted up. Look at that. It came in a nice bag and everything. And so this is a program for Willow Tree Sampling, Willow Tree Sampler Guild. Willow Tree Sampler Guild. You can find them on Facebook. But anyway, this is my retreat, my program's piece for that as well. This is a piece for the Tudor Rose Sampler Guild that Sylvia did. And this is the kit for it. This was something special that we got. It's a little mattress finish pincushion. And that's from Tudor Rose. And then Ruthie Cole. Hi, Ruthie. How are you? She had showed some of her beautiful stitching at her clubhouse where she lives in her community. They set out, they had a craft day, and she set her quilting and her stitching out and everything. And she had showed Cordelia Ransbury 1847. And it was so pretty. And I messaged her and I said, what piece is that? And she told me, and she said, hey, Shellie, I'll mail it to you and you can borrow it. So anyway, this came from Ruth Cole, beautiful stitcher. And then from Primitive Gatherings, I ordered this. This is a wool applique quilt to do. It's a 20 by 20 quilt, but it's combining quilting and wool applique. And you know what? Doggone it. I completely forgot. It's over in the other house. I'll show it to you next time. I have got a wool penny mat that's about this big, octagon, and it's got wool pennies all over it around the edge. I'm almost done. It's sitting in my stitching spot, but I'm not going to run over and grab it. I'll show it to you next video. So, but that just reminded me of it. And then I ordered a few things. Oh, I dropped one. Hold on just a second. I ordered a few things from Julie at the Old Tattered Flag. I ordered this. This is the Old Tattered Flag's 2025 punch needle ornament for this year. So I ordered the kit. As well, I ordered this little punch needle kit. Isn't that adorable? And then I actually have the rug hooking pattern for this. I've not rug hooked it yet, but this is called the Stonehouse Runner, and the rug hooking is a rug runner, but this is a table runner, the small little table runner, and it is done in punch needle. And I haven't ordered in a little bit from Julie, and when I got it, I was opening my kits. They've got their own threads now, and I didn't know that. They have 6-stranded cottons, and they also have their own Old Tattered Flag pearl cottons. I was really surprised, and I was excited for them. They're really moving along. I remember when her shop was at her house, and now she's got a beautiful store, and her mom and all these things, and she owns the oh gosh, what's the name of the punch needle? It's what I use, and the Ultra Punch. She is the owner of that company now. So anyway, as well, I got my Sew Sampler monthly subscription box, and I was giggling when I opened this. It is Prairie, okay? For my birthday, Carrie, I love Melissa Gilbert from Little House on the Prairie, and she has a company now called Modern Prairie, and she's doing all kinds of stuff, and I have all kinds of stuff from her. Well, for my birthday, Carrie bought me the quilt kit, and I showed that to you. And so anyway, you open it up, and guess what? Melissa Gilbert through Riley Blake's fabric is in here, and look at that, in a table runner. I just was so excited about that. And so that's in here for this month, but it goes right along with the quilt. The block number 7 of the flowering quilt along was in here, as well as this sewing magnetic mate. I have one like this, and I'm excited to have another one because I'm going to put this one by the couch. The other one's over by my sewing machine. And then, pardon me. And then as well, and add a quarter ruler to do foundation paper piecing, and some foundation paper piecing squares to help you along with the pattern. This is the best box to get if you're a quilter or you want to be a quilter and build a stash, because every month you get a quilt pattern, you get fabric. Look at all that fabric. Cool notions. I love my Sew Sampler box. It keeps me from shopping too hard in the quilt shop, because something comes to the house every month, and I love it. As well, I'm going to show you 2 things that are not opened, and they will not be opened. I got my 12 Days of Christmas from Tiger Lily Designs, my bestie, and so I got it in the mail. Tape is still sealed. I am a good girl. I'm going to wait. That's my Advent from Carrie. And then as well, Leap of Faith Yarns did the 2025 Advent calendar, Noah and the Ark. And so this is a yarn Advent. And so I will be opening those when December starts and sharing on Instagram every day with you. And so I can't show you these because I'm good. I'm not cheating. Okay, I got a bag right here. Hold on just 1 second. It's too far for me to reach. I stopped into the Smoky Mountain Spinnery and saw my friend Nancy Thompson, the owner, and I bought some yarn. Okay, so I saw this yarn was all in a cabinet really close to each other. And I fell in love with that combo. Isn't that pretty? And this is Earth Yarns, URTH. And I think that this is a DK maybe, let me check. It's a light worsted weight, so it's probably worsted, but it could be considered a light worsted, close to DK. But I don't know. I was thinking, oh gosh, wouldn't that be a pretty something? I don't know what that pretty something's going to be, but I loved it. I thought, okay, that's coming home with me. And then as well, I bought, to go in my Cozy Memories blanket, I bought a mini skein, because if you've been around here for a while, you know that every time I travel, I try to, if I go to a yarn shop, I try to grab a mini skein, and I'm doing a mitered corner blanket that you just attach your needles onto and do another mitered corner square, and it's called Cozy Memories, and people use their scraps, but what I've been using is I've used scraps from socks and things I've made for people, my family, and also when I travel, and I have a journal, and it tells which square is where I went or what it was from, and so I got this for my Cozy Memories. And then she gave me a really nice little book from the Smoky Mountain Spinnery. But to do some work for some designs, I have a design coming up at Market that I needed some wool samples so that I could make a decision to go with that. So this is going on the inside of something that's coming at Market. And so I bought a couple beautiful wools. I guess Mountain Mist must be in that pattern, that secret pattern, because, but anyway, that is going to go inside of something. And geez Louise, I'm in shock. I reached the bottom. Nope, I didn't. Nope, I didn't. I went antiquing, and when I went antiquing, I found some books. I love old books. If you've been around, you know that. Southern is my favorite cuisine, although I love Mexican. I love food, but Southern is my favorite cuisine, and I have, oh my gosh, I think I've got about 200 cookbooks between my library. I brought a library in the house for real, but I have the cabinets downstairs. They built me a small library shelf to put my cookbooks in. So Southern cookbooks are my favorite, and so I got this when I was antiquing. As well, I found this book, the McCall's Needlework Treasury, a Learn and Make book, and it has everything in it, every type of needlework. Everything. There's tatting, there's knitting, there's rug hooking, there's everything in this book. And there's always something to learn that I don't know. And it's always fun reading because it's all my favorite topics. Also, I have a collection of antique school books and children's books that I love. And so I found these. This is the University Series First Reader by Holmes. I found this, and let's see. Well, it says Ida J. Rambo, 1870. Oh, look at it. Isn't it neat? I just love them. The smartest people in the world were trained out of McGuffey's and these type of books. You know, where do you think Alexander Graham Bell, he learned out of these type of books? I have a bunch of McGuffey readers, but I never have seen one of these. This is a McGuffey's Eclectic Speller. It's the spelling book, but look at that on the back. And so anyway, I bought it. And all my grandkids being homeschooled, it's kind of neat. And then I bought this book. It's an old book, and it's called Jerusalem Delivered. And anyway, it was, it's an old book, and it's about Jerusalem, so that excited me. So I'm going to read this when I leave for Tennessee this week. I'm going to take it with me and read it. And then I bought this. This is a really neat book. It's called Practical Selections from 20 Years of Normal Instruction and Primary Plans. this book, I have another book like this, and when you open it up, it gives almost like lesson plans. And it'll, so it'll, for like a day, but like it says a Columbus Day exercise, and it'll say boys, girls, boys, girls. And it's like, that's for like, and then Halloween in the schoolroom, Halloween outdoors, Thanksgiving plan for grammar grades, little drawings to go with different lessons. But I said, like I said, objective point in spelling, teaching spelling. So, but anyway, with my grandkids being homeschooled with the antique books I have, and this is really neat. I love to share with my daughter and my daughter-in-law, and I like to use them myself because when they come over here, sometimes I have a collection of Beatrix Potter's old antique Beatrix Potters, and I have multiple duplicates and triplicates, and I'll sit them down and give them the books. I'm like, okay, you read that one. You read that. You read that page. Now you read that page. I'll read the next page. Isn't that fun? And so I love to, you know, they come over here to Mimi's, and I try to teach them some things. So anyhow, that now does bring me to the end of the pile, and I am so happy you joined me here today. I hope you like what you saw, all my whips and my finishes and my new patterns. I do, again, I'm sorry about the straggly voice. I just still needed to film, so I needed to get before the pile got any deeper. So I know you understand, but I think that'll do it, my friends. If you've liked what you've seen here, do like and subscribe. If you already are subscribed, you don't need to hit the button again, but do like and comment below. I love to hear from you, and I love seeing what you liked. And but I think that will do it for now. But until I see you again, I wish you many happy stitches, my friend. Bye-bye for now.